Like many TV shows, Gilmore Girls is a character-driven drama, and this means that romance and the best couples in the series take center stage. While there are some harsh realities of watching Gilmore Girls today, the messy relationships and shocking twists when it comes to love have lost none of their potency. The main characters, Lorelai, Lauren Graham, and Rory, Alexis Bledel, have some of the most intense and emotional romances, breakups, and marriages of the series, which follow the trajectory of their arcs as people. However, this isn't to say that Gilmore Girls forgets about its supporting characters and doesn't give them plenty of drama of their own in the romance department. There are some Gilmore Girls episodes I always skip, but the installments that focus on these couples are eternally fun to revisit. Even when it's hard to watch the characters make big mistakes in these relationships and stir up more problems for themselves, it's impossible to look away from the story. Though Gilmore Girls is about family and finding yourself, it never shies away from love. 10. Lorelai and Christopher. Rory's parents aren't perfect, but they have great chemistry. Christopher is one of the most controversial figures in Gilmore Girls. While he and Lorelai make an unfortunate couple in many ways, they're also highly entertaining to watch on screen and have real chemistry. Though he's not the love of her life, Lorelai genuinely cares for Christopher and is attracted to him and the life they could have had. Of all her additional love interests besides Luke, Christopher is the only other person who makes some sense to be with Lorelai. Though Max, Jason, and even the short-lived Alex were all nicer and likely more wise options than Christopher, it's obvious from the start that she feels lukewarm at best towards all of them. While part of this is because she was always meant to be with Luke, this makes her connection with Christopher more poignant as well. Christopher isn't a great character, but he does love Lorelai, and they have some fun together, like when he visits in Season 1. It's clear that he does love her from how quickly he wants to cement their relationship in Season 7. 9. Sookie and Jackson. This consistent pair was a model couple until Season 7. When we first meet Sookie and Jackson, they're quirky and charming, matching each other's interests and eccentricities perfectly. As Lorelai's best friend, it makes sense that Sookie would have more luck in love earlier on in the series to be a foil to Lorelai's failed relationships. It made perfect sense that she would end up with Jackson, and their sweet courtship and gentle love for each other were a welcome addition to every episode. However, Gilmore Girls ruined a piece of their relationship forever in Season 7. Jackson and Sookie's Season 7 storyline permanently altered their relationship for me. This was incredibly upsetting, as Jackson and Sookie are one of the best couples up to this point, weathering hardships and maintaining a stable example of a relationship. However, this is ruined by the lie about the vasectomy. In many ways, this plot point came out of nowhere and is better forgotten when it comes to Gilmore Girls as a whole. It destroys the trust and equality that made us initially root for Sookie and Jackson. 8. Babette and Maury. Though they are secondary characters, Babette and Maury are a standout couple. It's easy to point to Lorelai and Rory's major relationships as the most significant on the show. However, it's really supporting characters like Babette and Maury that make Gilmore Girls great. As a pair, they help flesh out the world of the story, bringing the offbeat stars hollow to life and demonstrating that the quirky world the Gilmores live in is full of real people and relationships. Throughout every season of Gilmore Girls, Babette and Maury are a constant reminder of love and consistency, always supporting each other on screen. From the couple's devotion to their cat to the way Maury clearly takes pleasure in Babette's over-the-top interactions with the neighbors, it's important for every show to have a relationship like theirs. In Season 1, Lorelai and Babette have a brief conversation where Babette opens up about worrying she would never find someone to love her before she met Maury. It's a touching moment and one that shouldn't be overlooked when revisiting the many couples of Gilmore Girls, Rory and Dean. Rory's first love will always have a special place in our hearts. In Season 1, it's easy to root for Dean and Rory, as their nervous steps toward first love are nostalgic and sweet. Though some of Dean's later issues are foreshadowed in Season 1, he's a good boyfriend for the most part. Things start to deteriorate when Jess comes on the scene, and Dean gets so jealous that it gets difficult to feel bad for him. Dean's actions make it easy to dislike him, but Rory makes plenty of missteps and feeds into the jealousy by not being honest about who she wants in Seasons 2 and 3. Rory and Dean's relationship timeline takes a turn for the worse at the end of Season 4 when Rory makes one of the worst mistakes of the show by sleeping with Dean while he's still married. The second attempt at their romance is when things really get bad for both characters, as it's clear they're regressing to something comfortable because they both feel lost in their adult lives. When they part ways for the last time, it's a relief and gives Rory the ability to embrace the new version of herself that she's been afraid of. Paris and Doyle. Paris isn't always lucky in love, but Doyle appreciates her for who she is. One of the funniest and most compelling characters in Gilmore Girls, Paris, has a larger-than-life personality that sometimes gets her into trouble. Throughout the early seasons, Paris compares herself to Rory and seeks out new experiences through her relationships with Jamie and Asher, but it's only Doyle who truly feels like her equal. While she quickly outgrew Jamie and then moved on to Asher, hoping to skip to a later part of life, Doyle meets her where she's at and enjoys seeing her shine. But they are both a little strange and an acquired taste, but when Paris and Doyle love someone, they won't give up on the relationship and are fiercely loyal. This plays out in their friendships as well, as Paris stands by Rory even when she isn't at her best. Though Rory is quick to make fun of Paris and Doyle, they make each other happy, and it's nice to see Paris with someone who doesn't want to tone her down. He enjoys watching her be Paris, and that's what she deserves. 5. Rory and Logan. Rory's college years see her try out a new type of relationship. Logan and Rory's courtship might have been the most exciting part of their relationship, but when Logan officially commits to her, it turns out he can be a solid boyfriend. Audiences frequently compare Logan to Christopher, but he's really the most like Lorelai, as he chafes against the expectations of his parents because he wants to forge his own path. His impulsive nature mellows a bit while he's with Rory, but when he takes her to new places and on adventures, he helps open Rory's eyes to all the possibilities the world holds for her.